your part, Allison.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Hello, everyone. Welcome to my weekly meltdowns coverage of nothing, just 2023, I guess. I'm Allison. With me, as always, is Tyler and Beth. Tonight, we're just as a year in review, just a quick check in to see what everyone, how the year, little thing. I don't know. There's little things here and there. I can't speak. Maybe I should have that looked into as well. Hello in the chat to Linda and Kylan. Hello, everyone.
Hi, guys.
And Heather Jean. Hello.
Yes, hello everybody. We just kind of wanted to do I know we talked at the end of our Survivor recap last week. I was closing out the year for 2023, and y'all were like, "Hold on, cut the brakes. We're gonna do one more show to just put a bow on the very eventful year of 2023 that we had on air and off air." We're gonna talk some just recapping our reality TV freaking journey this year, because there was so much of it. We'll also talk some scripted stuff. Can you believe The Last of Us? We covered that in the year 2023. Isn't that weird?
It
feels like forever ago.
That was it. And it's not coming back till 2025 because of the writer's strike.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well,
according to HBO's preview of what's to come
you might have to find somebody else to cover season 2 for The Last of Us.
Why?
I don't know if I have it. I don't know. I enjoyed the show, but recapping the show was very difficult for me. I just didn't know what to because I'm not a funny person. Me commentating on a scripted show is not funny for anybody. It's painful for people to listen to. At least that's what I feel about myself. So I don't know. I just
everybody comment in the chat if you think it's painful to listen to Tyler.
I think it's painful to listen to you all of the time, but I'm still here.
I love that you guys just had very opposite approaches to my self-deprecation.
Well, Tyler, you did a great job covering The Last of Us. I get into it. I take I write freaking journals. Poor Rory, who covered Yellow Jackets season 2 with me. Man, I typed up a booklet for every episode. But you know what? He loved it because we didn't miss any. We covered it. That's what I do with those shows. It's not like a reality show, where it's unpredictable and you can't really get into too much detail. When you're covering an actual show, scripted television, it's the characters are there and the layout's there, what's happening. It's just filling in the blanks.
So in 2023 we covered we did talk some Australian Survivor a little bit. We also talked The Traitors. House of Villains was on. We didn't really cover that, but that was a big hit in 2023 as well. Of course, the juggernaut that was Big Brother 25, Survivor 44 and Survivor 45, Big Brother Reindeer Games, The Challenge USA 2, The Last of Us, and Yellow Jackets. So that was our kind of umbrella of things that we talked about and everything like that. We were going to cover Big Brother Canada 11, but then they said after we did our freaking draft and everything, they announced that they were not doing live feeds. So we said, F y'all, bye. And looks like that'll be the case for next year, BB Can 12 as well. I don't think that they are bringing the live feeds back. So guess what? We're going to continue to still not cover it and still not support it.
Can I make an announcement?
Go ahead.
I had the best 2 hair days this week.
I thought you were going to say I had the best dump.
I didn't know where that was
yesterday. No, I seriously had the best 2 hair days. Christmas Day, yesterday, I even took some selfies. And today, it just didn't want to participate. So that's why I look the way I do, because whatever.
Listen, you are bundled up, just being cozy for the holidays.
It's cold here. We got freezing rain coming. Can't wait.
Don't drive.
Allison, so how was your, and I want to hear from Beth too, but how was your holiday? What did you guys do for Christmas?
What did I do for Christmas?
It was 2 days ago when you had a nice hair day.
Well, I'm thinking. Well, besides Christmas Eve was fun. I went over to my sister-in-law's house and hung out with her and her mother-in-law and my brother-in-law and my husband and I have twin niece and nephews. They're almost 2, and they're adorable and they're fun. And it's fraternal twins. It's a boy and a girl. I'm not going to say their names on air because I've never asked for permission. So the girl absolutely loves me and cried when I left. That made me happy.
It was me. Oh.
It was you? What?
I'm the one who cries when you leave.
Everyone cries when I leave, but it's tears of joy.
But I also cry when you arrive.
I know. Those aren't tears of joy.
Tears constantly.
But no, I had we had a nice relax. We just had some snacks. We watched some TV. One of the Bourne Identity Matt Damon movies was on, and my brother and I were talking about, they're making another one of these next year with Matt Damon. I'm like, surely he knows who he is by now. Surely he knows who the F he is. But anyway, and then Christmas Day, I went out to my mother just had a surgery, so we went out to my husband and I went out to my mom's and ate turkey with her and my dad, and then came back to my house, and then my son and my daughter-in-law and my little grandson came over, and we got him remote control cars. I don't know if you guys watch Battle.
I don't know why, but I thought you were about to say we got him wasted.
Dude, he was wasted.
You're like, okay, let's call CPS and end the show.
Remote control car wasted. I don't know if anybody out there watches BattleBots. My husband's obsessed with it, and I will catch it sometimes, and it's like a train wreck. I can't stop watching because some of these people who make the BattleBots are more interesting than the actual showdown in the ring.
That BattleBots were really fascinating themselves, when it first came out, and then I think we're over the robots killing each other.
Yeah. I want to see the people. I want to see the people who make these things.
I want a little bit more of a glimpse behind the curtain of the people.
I want to see the sweaty guy in the Slipknot t-shirt. That's who I want to see. But anyway, we got him 2 little cars that flip around, like you do it and it flips around. Like when it hits something, it flips upside down and keeps going. And the kid's mind exploded. And of course, he doesn't have the coordination yet to do it, but he can push it and it'll make noise, and he can do it on his own, or we can do it with the remote. And he got a little guitar from my parents. And I was showing off my Eddie Van Halen skills, which are it's not even Eddie Van Halen. Okay. It's terrible. Anyway, Eddie Van Halen, he's obsessed with his little guitar because he loves music. And, I introduced my grandson to Michael Jackson. I think I told y'all about that. We were watching.
Beat it.
Oh my God. We were watching the Thriller 40th anniversary.
That shit was so good. Allison.
Yes.
I don't know if you guys know this about me, but I have such a high regard for Michael Jackson.
I thought you were going to say, I am Michael Jackson.
No comment.
No, there will never be anybody like Michael Jackson. He is otherworldly, his talent.
Well, let me tell you something. Beat It came on, and Billie Jean, and this. He was okay with Thriller, but when those 2 were on, he was dancing like he was doing his little kid dance that he does. And
you have to take a video of that the next time. Play that music video and then record him dancing. I would love to see that.
But I didn't really do. I know we don't. This isn't all about me, but is it really?
I did ask you. What was your holiday like?
This is what happened when you asked Allison
minutes ago. Don't worry about it. No.
What else? I didn't really do much of anything else. I did a bunch of sales shopping online.
Nice.
Amazon is gonna take a big dump on my stairs today, on my doorstep today. I've got 88 things coming. Chris and I are like, what? I said, this is going to come during my show. That's what's going to happen. Anyway.
Beth, how was your Christmas?
My Christmas was fun. My family decided to do something a little different this year. You know, in the past, we've all drawn a name and we buy presents just for that one person, and then like little stocking stuffers for everybody else.
Do you have like a ranking in your head of like family members who do like the best to least job? So like when you draw names, like is there anybody that's like, shit, I hope they don't get my
It's
name?
not because of like the
please.
ability to give gifts. What's more, it's there's some people who will say this is what I want. There's people in my head who are just easier to buy for because I know exactly what to get them.
Yeah.
My dad is one of those people that's just like, I just want to be with you, and I'm like, that's not what we're doing.
My dad
here,
says
Dad.
the same shit and drives me crazy. I'm like, no, you send me links.
But I also, I hate for the life of me, I hate that everything is so fucking gendered when you try to look up gifts. It'll be like, gifts for dad. Here's a lawnmower and some tools, or how about a tie? And you're like, okay. And then you do gifts for mom, and it's like all kitchen shit.
It's an apron.
Or like an apron. Yeah. Or it'll be like, oh, get these earrings or a bracelet or something like that.
Makeup. Yeah.
Makeup. And I'm just like, and there's only so much. So my dad is a drummer, but he knows exactly what he's going to want for drumming equipment, and he's just going to get it himself, and he knows best for that kind of stuff. So it's hard for me to do that. To do things that he doesn't need, or things that he would never buy for himself, but would be something that's an asset for him, I struggle every year. It is so hard for me. But I don't know. And like my mom can be difficult, but she'll actually give you a good list, and she'll be like, here are all the things I'm kind of interested in. So I know, like, if I'm in a pinch, I know exactly what perfume she wants, or I know like the colors that she wears or the style of clothes or whatever. Like, I get that. So she's a little easier. My brother, I struggle with, because again, he's a musician. So if he wants anything for his guitar, he'll just get it. So I struggle with him. My sister-in-law, I have the easiest time buying for. I can think of like 15,000 things off the top of my head for my sister-in-law. And so when this year was nice, because what we just did was we said, let's just do small gifts or stocking stuffers for everybody. And instead, let's take the money we would have spent on Christmas presents and let's go to a casino. We all love gambling, but we have never really been as a fivesome before.
We all have a problem. Let's just do it together.
Yeah, my version of gambling is Pokemon cards. No, I'm just kidding. Are you? My parents love slots and they love bingo. Okay, and we used to live an hour and a half away from the Aquasauce.
I thought you were gonna say something else.
What?
Sluts. They
love sluts and they love bimbos, okay? And here's no. Well, I'm sure they do too, in which case good, because sluts and bimbos are great. But no, so they love slots and bingo. And I remember like 10 years ago, my brother like called me and he was like, I'm like really concerned, like mom and dad have a gambling problem. And I was like, really? Like in what way? They're like, they go to the casino like every 3 months. And that to me is, and mom plays this like Slotomania play money game every single night on her phone. And I was like, okay, whatever. I was like, every 3 months is not bad, Chris. If they're going like every week and then that turns into every night and they're doing online gambling, whatever.
You know what? That's kind of.
But now Chris and Vika in the past year have gone to Las Vegas. They've gone to Atlantic City. They've gone to casinos in every place they've been, like in Denver and Luxembourg, like all over the place. And I don't know why my camera is.
I don't know what's happening right now, but do I need these?
Yeah, seriously. Hello. There we go. I just had to lean forward. But they've been to casinos all over the place, and their luck is like unfreaking real. They get like so lucky. So Chris had a really good sales year. So what he decided to do for us is that my parents said, we'll buy the hotel rooms. You guys get your rental car and get up here, because we went to a casino called Turning Stone in upstate New York, which is so good. It's on the Oneida Reservation. It's like only like an hour away from my parents' house, whole 9 yards. So we went there for the first night, and Chris and Vika, their gift for everybody was $100. And they said, okay, everybody's getting $100, but we want for one spin for all of us to go to the roulette table and put money on the same exact number so we win or lose as a family.
Ooh, okay.
So we did,
Ah.
and we fucking hit, everybody. We all
Yeah!
won. And
That's
it
so
was
cool.
so fun. And this poor friggin' dealer at the roulette table had there was actually 6 of us because my aunt was celebrating with us as well. So there were 6 of us, and this poor guy had to do 6 100 single chips. So 600 individual chips to each
Wow.
individual person. And then when we put them all out there, we all bet different amounts on those numbers.
Yeah.
But we did all the numbers that make up our birthdays, and we did Christmas as well. So 12/25. And we hit out, and then we got so addicted. We were there for about 10 more spins. And my aunt, who like never wins anything, won so much money at the table, and she was like, this is so much fun. And we're like, okay, cut her off now, cut her off
Yeah,
now.
I know. That's my problem is like I'll be up and
that.
then like I just like the thrill of it is just so fun to me. You know what I mean? Like
It's so
I,
good.
Oh, you guys, if you come to Tennessee, we need to go to Tunica.
Well, I would love
that.
to.
Let's do
Go
it.
to-
Yeah.
Oh,
I-
you haven't been to a casino till you've been to the South. You've been to a
I can only
Mississippi?
imagine.
That's a show. You don't even have to gamble. You've just satisfied and you feel like you've hit the jackpot, just people watching.
Oh, that's the thing. My brother said, he goes, so first of all, the reason why we decided to do the casino is because first, it's on the way to my parents' house. So we're like, this will be a good way to break up the trip up. But
Yeah.
secondly, not just because we all like gambling, we were like, a couple days before Christmas, who's going to the casino? Right? It's going to be empty. And we were right. It was only filled with the saddest people you've ever seen in your life.
Oh,
Freaking addicts.
And it was a whole bunch of, so my brother sat down at the 3-card poker table next to a guy who had a black eye and said, I just lost 17 hands in a row. And my brother was like, oh,
Ugh.
really? And he's like, yeah, I'm down $6,000. I'm hoping to
my-
make it back up. And my
That's
brother's like,
terrible.
oh,
Holy.
fuck. So then
Yeah.
my brother kept winning, and this guy got up and left or whatever. He's the same guy. I'll get, I guess, to the next part in a second. But my brother then goes to another guy who said, I haven't left the casino in a couple days. I'm still trying to win my money back.
Do you smell?
No, I don't know. Well, it's hard when those casinos, some of them have smoking sections, and like, it all kind of drifts over.
Yeah.
So,
I hate
but
that.
so that's the thing. So it was
I'm
just,
still listening.
that was interesting. So we had our night. I had played bingo with my aunt and my parents. And so that's like a 3-hour affair, right? Where you're
Yeah.
sitting there doing all the bingo games, which is intense. And this old woman behind us was like yelling at these people who were like talking and having a good time. And she was like, we're playing bingo. This is not a time to speak. And like was yelling at them. And I was like, you better tell them, grandma. And it was so freaking
What
funny.
happened? I'm sorry, my thing fell out.
There was an older woman who was yelling at people who were talking during bingo because that's intense. You
talking
have to
during
pay
bingo?
attention, right? And it goes quickly. They tell you the number every 10 seconds. And so when you have like 18 different cards that you're trying to go through, you don't have a lot of time, and you can only call bingo if you got bingo on that number that was just called, right? So if you miss it, you miss it. And so she's sitting there like just went off and exploded and yelled at them like 4 times. And then this guy got up and was like, fucking bitch, and then walked away. And I turned around to her and I was like, thank you so much.
Why
And she
isn't
was
there
like,
a casino?
you're
reality
welcome,
show?
baby. It was great. I was like, thank you.
I need a reality show just following people around in the Tunica, Mississippi casinos.
It was good.
I can only imagine.
The next day, my parents and my aunt had headed back early. My sister-in-law booked a massage, and I sat down with Chris and we did 3-card poker and roulette. And I was the only one who left like $15 down at the casino. Then everybody else was up. So Chris and I buy in at roulette, and I leave roulette $40 up. And I was like, okay, great.
Nice.
And then we went over to 3-card poker, and that game, when it has a 15 bet minimum, it's 15 bets for 3 different bets. So it's actually 2 different bets and then a $5 bet. So every time, if you want the biggest payouts, you have to bet $35, which I did not really realized when I was sitting down learning the game. And so within 5 hands, I almost ran out of all the money that I had bought in with. And I was at this point, I was like, I'm not buying in with my own money now. Chris and Vika gave me $100. If I lose it, I'm in the same spot I was in before I got here. So Chris let me borrow some chips. I then hit every single time, and I was getting all the bonus bets. Like, I was killing it, and I ended up having to like buy my brother back in like multiple times. I probably, if I hadn't brought my brother back in like 2 times, I probably would have left about $350 up. I did so freaking well. So I left $175 up at the casino.
That's crazy.
Which
That's
was
awesome.
so cool. I was like, Merry Christmas to me. I needed that. So we had a good time, and then it was just chill. We did caroling the next night. There were some people who my mom had organized a caroling group. There were about 20 of us that went around to about 9 different houses that asked for us to stop by. Most of them gave us booze that we didn't know was going to happen. So by the last house, we were all like, no. It was really fun.
I thought you were about to say you went by some houses where people asked you to stop.
Pretty much. No, actually, it was really sad. The last guy is a man who lives by himself, and I'm fairly certain has special needs of some sort, and has kids. And he said, "I'm all alone this Christmas. My kids aren't coming back, and so you're all I have." And it was like, well, Merry Christmas. We'll wish you a Merry Christmas like one more time. It was just really, it was sad.
Yeah.
But we did that.
Cool.
And then I came home on the 26th after a very nice Christmas day, and here we are. Tyler, what about you?
So the battle like these days, these years is Morgan gonna host Christmas, or is like mom like so my mom is very, very into Christmas. Like, I'm telling you, she has like, not even exaggerating, like 7 Christmas trees, like fully decorated with like different decor, and like she wants her like Hallmark Christmas, right?
Where she falls in love with a guy from the city.
Yes, yeah, but like Morgan's been hosting it lately because like it's just easier for like mom and dad are divorced, so like getting like both like members of the family like together at Morgan, it's just like good like meeting spot for everybody.
Does your dad come?
Yeah, so this year like Morgan and mom agreed that mom was going to host Christmas this year because like next year like Morgan will have baby Adley. She's due in April, so we figured like she will be hosting Christmas from here on out because she'll have Adley. So mom hosted Christmas this year, and it was great. Like dad and my stepmom showed up and everything. Morgan's what's it called? Like not step parents, in-laws came over too. So I always get those terms mixed up. And it was just a really
and
great
they're very different terms.
I know. I just like I have to like think about it in my head before I say it out loud.
I guess to
every
a certain
time,
extent, some people can really view their in-laws as step parents.
Yeah. But yeah, it was a great time. We played a few games. We watched Jingle All the Way, which is my favorite Christmas movie.
Is that the one with Arnold Schwarzenegger and they're after the toy, the action figure toy or whatever?
Jamie!
It's
turbo time. Yeah, and Sinbad. Yeah, that movie is so like
Sinbad!
good.
I forgot about Sinbad.
I love
and Rita
Sinbad.
Wilson. It is so like 90s. It is so great. So then we had like a pretty chill Christmas. Mom is watching Sora while we're back here in the city because I had 11 portraits today and a wedding tomorrow. But Timmy and I are going to go back down to Maryland on the 29th and stay there through the New Year's. So overall, it was a really great Christmas. Very happy. There was no drama this year, thankfully. But
lucky.
Every time I go home, like. A little bit, yes, because it's a very rare occurrence. But it's like anytime I'm home for like more than like a day, and I say home as in like Maryland. Anytime I'm in Maryland for like a day or two, like I just miss the city so much. Like I literally like cannot wait to be back here.
I've
So
not had that experience.
anytime I get back here, it just feels like an exhale. Like I can get back into my routine, get back into how I live my like weird New York life. Because my family, like, they live in like a very small town, so like they just like don't get it. Yeah, so I don't know. It's nice to spend time with them, but it's very nice to be back and settled and stuff like that.
Yeah, very good.
So you guys did get your parents gifts.
I gave my parents small gifts. I also got my mom a gag gift that arrived today, and I'm really sad that I wasn't there to see her open it.
I was just curious because I can't remember the last time I got a gift from my child.
You gotta
These
fix that.
kids, they just show up.
I'm sorry. Do you not consider Cloud a gift?
No.
No.
Not after the bitch slap I got the other day. Listen, here's the thing. Valencia's talking about in the chat about how her parents are like, oh, I just want your company. That's enough. Yeah, I did. It's so sad. I used to say the same thing to my son. Now I'm like, no, don't you cross this threshold without something. I don't care if it's made, you draw a picture, it's a 99-cent card. I don't give a shit. You put me through the ringer this year. I've earned something. You better give me something. Didn't give me shit.
I don't understand that. I don't know if it's because I'm a daughter, and I do think that daughters and sons sometimes have different like societal expectations of like how you're supposed to interact with your parents as adults.
Yeah.
But my brother has always been somebody who has always thought of how to give back to our parents, even if it's just on holidays or something like that.
So when we're off air, when we're off air, Beth and I, we're gonna call Jacob and we're gonna set him.
Yeah, I'm gonna do a little bit of like, hey, I'm gonna tell you something you need to hear. You don't really know me.
He's like,
I gave you a gift once, Jacob, so therefore.
He's like,
we've given you more gifts than you've given your mother gifts on Christmas.
Hello.
Well, technically, he is the gift that keeps on giving. But it's funny because it's like he was sitting there telling me about this vintage Sonic the Hedgehog game that he found from the original PlayStation. He couldn't wait. It just came in and he couldn't wait to get home to play it. And I'm like, So
where's mine?
You had time. You had time for that, but you can go to the Dollar Tree, give me a cheap ass card,
a Kit Kat bar,
something. You know, I love a Three Musketeers and a Snickers.
I do love Three.
This is actually really important. So, would you say your favorite candy bars are Three Musketeers and Snickers, Allison?
Okay, it depends. Because here's the thing: I will only eat a Three Musketeers if it has been in the refrigerator. At time of my liking.
I'm like that with Snickers, but with the freezer.
But I eat the chocolate off the nugget first, and then I eat the nugget.
Can you say that word one more time, please?
The nugget.
The nugget?
It's the nugget. Nugget? Is it nugget?
Nougat.
Nugget.
I like that even better. Say that again.
Okay, it's the same problem I have with saying Massachusetts. I cannot say Massachusetts.
Massa? We're going to break it down.
I can't say it.
Massa?
Boston, Mass.
Say Massa.
Massachusetts. Massachusetts.
There you go.
There you go.
It always comes out Massachusetts. That's it.
Well, that's basically what they are. Can we talk about for a second that the palm reader tarot card person in New Orleans told me that the kind of guy I'm going to settle down with should be a masshole? And I was like, you mean a bad driver from Massachusetts? He's like, yeah. And I was like, okay.
That's a thing.
Well, everybody in the Northeast calls anybody who's a jerk from Massachusetts or someone who drives from Massachusetts, which they're the same fucking thing, massholes. Massachusetts drivers are the friggin' worst. And you know what? All New England drivers are the friggin' worst. I'm putting it right there. You have massholes, you have Connecticut's, you've got New Hampshire's, you've got These are all ones I came up with, by the way. That
I've
those
heard
two.
Jersey Driver, no Survivor.
Oh, well, I mean, that is, I'll sit here and say it right now. New Jersey drivers are infinitely better than, oh my God, Rhode Island idiots. Like, they're like Rhode Island idiots or whatever. They're friggin'
Rude idiots.
stupid. Yeah, I mean,
Idiots.
Connecticut, I'm not convinced they sell cars that actually have a turn signal on them
No, definitely not.
because
No,
I've never
that's an added
seen it.
bonus.
I can't wait for you guys to come to Memphis because that is an experience. Because you actually have to think for a minute, how much do I value life that I want to get in my vehicle and almost lose it?
Listen, I can't talk. I got you a speeding ticket in New Orleans, so.
You know what's funny about that is I was like thinking about it, I was like, isn't that when I told you, hey, we're in a school zone. It's 20 in here. And you're like,
And I was
"Fine.
like, it's fine.
I'll just, if I hit a child, I'll just get therapy.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not
Yeah,
paying
see, I have
It's
it all played
50
out.
points if you hit a kid. I mean, come on.
Yes.
We are not paying that ticket because it was not distributed by a law enforcement officer.
You tell 'em.
Period.
I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. It's a sham. I've done extensive research. I'm not doing it. I've had 2 lawyers that I know. 2 say, hey, the worst thing is it'll show up on your credit report, but you know, what's a couple of points? But still, it's not that big a deal. They cannot force you to pay it.
Okay.
It funds the state. It has nothing to do with law enforcement. If you get pulled over, that's not going to show up. Do you want to know why? Because it was not recorded by a law enforcement officer. I will die on the sword, and I will argue with anyone who wants to debate it.
I love it.
And you will not pay that ticket.
I'm not paying that ticket.
So
Even
Beth,
though now we have recorded evidence online for people to get for free, you admitting that you speeded, Tyler speeded in the car.
Tyler speeded.
listen, it was all hypothetical.
Look, I was already a nervous wreck. The streets of downtown New Orleans are terrible. I've never experienced anything like it. You get lost in a circle. You can't get over. It's so the fork. It's a fork like which way? I don't know. I
when
can't
you
deal
called,
with it.
like when you were getting close to us, when you called, like I was convinced you were like about to say like, all right, forget it. I'm just turning around and going back.
I mean, I'm here, but I'm just gonna fucking sleep.
It was incredible. I was gonna ask you to just pull over at a shop or something like that and tell me what shop that was, and I was going to take an Uber to you and drive you.
Do you know what it reminded me of? National Lampoon's European Vacation. I don't know how many people have seen this movie, but Chevy Chase is in it. They're driving around Big Ben, and it's a circle. And he can't, and he's not used to driving on the other side, opposite, and he can't get over to get out of this circle. And they're literally sun up to sundown, driving around Big Ben. He goes, here it is again, here it's Big Ben. I can't get the fuck
Well,
out
the
of
nice
here.
thing is that
Those you and
circle
your
actually has a lot. You're like, okay, there's Westminster Abbey, there's Big Ben. Okay, instead of Big Ben, look at Parliament this time.
people were-
If you look across the Thames, you'll see the London Eye. Although that didn't exist.
People, you were yelling at me. I was getting honked at. I don't know what these people were doing out in the middle of the goddamn day. Do you not have jobs? It's like the first week of December. It is too early to be out for Christmas. What?
It was funny.
Anyway, nobody wanted me to drive. Not even Tyler. Tyler rode with me for a little bit, and 5 times, I swear, do you just want to pull over and let me drive? Fine, yes.
I was like, you can play DJ. I'll drive, you know?
Yeah.
So Beth, you made some questions for us because we want to talk about reality TV in 2023. So I have the questions here and I have my own answers to them.
Same.
Do you want to?
So I also want to encourage, if you're here in chat or if you're listening to this after the live broadcast, put your own answers like in the comments, either or in the live chat if you're here right now, because I'm interested in what everybody has to say. I will admit that I have not seen The Traitors yet. It is on my list of like binging literally this week because I want to watch it before the second season comes out. But I can't wait to hear about shows that everybody enjoyed.
I really don't feel like binging this first season of Traitors is really going to do anything, considering it was regular people with a sprinkle of celebrities. And this season, it's just going to be celebrities. And I swear to God, they're going to change up shit.
Yeah. I feel like season 2 is going to be like way better than the first season. I will say the first season was good, but like it was good because like Sari like whooped Cody's ass strategically.
I can't wait to watch it.
It was so good, Beth. I loved it. But okay, so question number 1, and Beth, if you want to take over, it's fine.
Yeah, I'm gonna ask the questions. So the first one I came up with is, what do you think is the best season of reality TV that you watched this year? And I know that Tyler is prepared with an answer, so I'm gonna go to Tyler first.
Yeah, so I'm gonna say Australian Survivor. Like it was.
That's what I put too.
An incredible season. That's what you put too. I'm surprised.
Yeah.
It was so good. It was so good that the New York Times they listed their best episodes of 2023, and an episode from Australian Survivor made that list. It was so entertaining. Like Liz and Shawnee were such a great pair. King George was the Russell Hands who could actually win a jury vote at the end. He was a mastermind that season, and it was so incredible to watch him just navigate that whole season. Seeing Haley return, she's considered the Kim Spradlin of Australian Survivor. It was a fun ride from start to finish. I absolutely loved it, and it was just so much more the epicness of Australian Survivor and just the physicality of Australian Survivor specifically is just on another level. So that's what I put. I'm happy to hear that you said
I put it as my favorite. It was my favorite season of Survivor by far that I got to watch this year. It felt a lot like old and middle school Survivor, but the kind that I like watching, but just modernized to today. And so that I loved it. And it was my first, foray into Australian Survivor, and I would like to go back and watch some more. Allison, what about you? What was your favorite season of reality TV this year?
Okay, now I have an answer for this. It is reality, but it's not a reality show.
I'm here for it. What is it?
It was a documentary limited series that is going to have a season 2 that comes out, a second version of it, January 1st. The Curious Case of Natalia Grace. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you guys have heard of this, but you need to get on Discovery Plus and watch it, because The Curious Case of Natalia Grace, Natalia Speaks, comes out January 1st, and my sister-in-law Mary and I are going to fucking stay up till midnight for the first time on New Year's in a decade, just so we can see it when it drops on Discovery.
Wow.
Okay, this is a story about a girl. What makes this is her adopted father makes this whole show. It's not funny, but it's tragic. But it's just this guy needs his own reality show. Okay, he's so animated and crazy. But
you have so much information and have told us also nothing at the same time.
What's the plot?
The show is about this girl. This family's been on Dr. Phil. This is a story that has been unfolding for 15, 16, almost 20 years. Okay.
What's the story?
The story is this girl was adopted by this family, and they thought that she was 4 years old or something. They thought she was a little girl, and come to find out she's not. They did blood work. They're like, this kid, she's not 5, she's 15. And they, like the movie Orphan. Yeah, you watch the movie Orphan. But they figured it out with the first time the mother went to give the little girl a bath. She had a full bush. She had a full pubic bush. And they were like, what the fuck? You know, and they took her to the doctor. Like, why does my
What the fuck?
why does my 4-year-old daughter I just adopted have freaking more hair on her vagina than Burt Reynolds' chest in the 70s? What is happening down here? And
no, this was a case on House one time. It was a hormone thing.
Well, listen, it turned they said the girl was crazy. She was trying to poison the parents. They woke up in the middle of the night when she was holding a knife over them. They couldn't get rid of her because that was their responsibility. They put her in some apartments and just paid for it and let her live there and brought her groceries. And like, she stalked her neighbors. She frolicked around with this little neighbor boy. And she offered sex to men, and like they did a test on her bones or something, or her teeth, and they were like, listen, this girl's 19 years old. She is not a child. And the authorities got involved. They tried to accuse the parents of child neglect and abuse and all of this shit, and they lost. The father was found innocent. Now he's since divorced his wife, and they haven't interviewed her. She won't have anything to do with it. But like he was like, you know what? I'm not taking a plea. I'm not making a deal. I did nothing wrong here. Okay, we were lied to. Dude, they went to Russia and found her biological mother, who even said the bitch is older than she's not a child. They're pretty much.
That's crazy.
And no, it's insane. And they did all of this. The father is this guy who he's dramatic. He's very, like, when he tells stories, he's doing all this stuff. He's getting on the floor and reenacting stuff. It's sad. It's a sad story, but they have interviewed they've interviewed her, and now her side's coming out, and they've got her and her ex-adopted father in the same room together talking. And she even looks at the camera at one point. She goes, do I look like a psycho to you? And I'm like, yes, because we all fucking know. You are not you got a bush. You got bush.
She's like, do I look like I have a bush to you?
Do I look like I have a bush to you?
And she has like absolutely not shaved her bikini line.
I really, God, I wish I could. Hold on a second. Like I can't. Like it's like a 4 episode out.
Okay,
like 4
I
hours
thought you were gonna be like, hold on, I'll show you the bikini
No,
line. I was
I'm
like,
not. I don't
need to see
have
it.
the bush. See, the curious was it? Okay, it's
She's like, I have a picture of the bush right here.
I like how all of this
was
was a response to what's your favorite season of reality TV? She's got a bush. Let me show you the bush.
Yeah, but they say that what is the mystery of Natalia Grace? It's a stranger than fiction series that turns expectation on its head. We explore the question of whether Natalia Barnett is an exploited Ukrainian child with dwarfism or a dangerous adult masquerading as a child. She has dwarfism. Like she's a small person.
It could be both.
Yeah, I mean, she could be stunted in many ways.
Yeah.
But it's just it's not funny. I'm going to hell. Sorry, Jesus. But the interviews with her trashy white trash neighbors, they found the shittiest motel turned into apartments that they could find to put this poor girl in. And her neighbors are terrible. And then on top of it, the dad is like secretly recording his video with his phone, like conversations with his daughter, like, you know, I know you got out. I know you talked to so-and-so. I know you did this and that. Like, you just have to watch it. The Curious Case of Natalie Grace. Look it up. It's good. It's entertaining. Season 2 comes out January 1st.
Allison's got a good week coming up next week.
Listen,
shows.
I got shows.
I love it. All right. So number 2. Who are your top 3 favorite reality stars this year?
Okay. I have 3. So I'm gonna say King George because
Mhm.
obviously. Number 2 is Chris Underwood. His win on the Challenge
I thought you were gonna
USA
say his
2
dick on the
and
challenge.
his dick was equally as impressive. But no, Beth, like you missed a really great season in the Challenge USA 2. Like he was put in every single limit, and he won. Like he took out like 5 guys and then won the whole season. Like
He freaking blew me away. Yeah.
and to do that on like a rookie season was just like insanely impressive to me. And my third one is Carolyn from Survivor 44. She's just such a unique, an amazing casting choice. So
I put Carolyn down as well as one of my 3. For those that didn't see, she tweeted out an incredible video today that she put on her TikTok and everything, which is about her leaving an abusive relationship and her growth and encouragement of others to find the strength to leave, because it's actually strong. It's harder to stay than it is to leave. So find that strength to leave. It was really, really incredible. She is such a unique human, and I'm so thankful that we not just got to see her story and like all these beautiful sides of her, but we also got to see her as like a strategic and entertaining reality star as well. And in a way that like I was tempted to put Jake O'Kane from 45 on here as well, but as much as I love Jake, like Carolyn was a little bit more strategic and was just a little bit more unique and just a little bit more entertaining and those kind of things too. So she edged him out there. My other 2 favorites, both came from season 15 of Drag Race. And the first was Mistress Isabel Brooks, who made it to the top 4, killed it all season long. But one of the things that I love the most is that she took what is considered to be old-fashioned drag and pageant drag, but put a really modern twist on it and was unapologetic in being a drag queen who reads other queens and doesn't care about what the internet is going to say. But all of it came from a sense of being seasoned and growing up in the environments where you say things to people's faces, you don't hold back, and none of it was meant to be malicious or horrible. But that doesn't mean that it didn't sting any less. Like she had the talent and the experience to back everything up. She had an incredible story. She was a big queen who had arguably, in my opinion, the best looks a big queen has ever had on the show, point blank period, in 15 American seasons. She was just incredible. I was rooting for her to win. I was sad when she did not go into the final 2 lip sync. And then the other one is also from Drag Race, which is Anitra. Anitra killed it this season. 3 of the best performances that everybody watches on a daily basis have Anitra in it. She is a magnetic and like incredible performer. She's like graceful and precise, but like in your face with it. Like
you'll have to send us like some of her like lip sync battles. I would love to see them.
Yeah, I showed you one when we were in New Orleans the night before.
Yeah.
So when she her 3 biggest things is the first episode she won the rightfully so, won the talent competition. She came out, I will send you all, this is what she comes out with to introduce herself. We know nothing about her. She's been quiet all episode and comes out with this incredible talent show performance that I watched daily for like 3 months. That's not even a joke. I watched it so often. It was incredible. And then she had one of the best lip syncs of all time in the lip sync extravaganza episode, where she goes against frickin' Sasha Colby, who I know probably means nothing to the 2 of you, but is everybody's quintessential, this is who is big in the drag scene. And she finally made it on Drag Race. And she won season 15 because we all knew she was going to win. It was the Sasha Colby meet and greet all season long. And she not only held her own, it was arguable that some people maintain she actually beat Sasha. It was incredible. And then the last one, which a lot of people consider to be not just the best lip sync of a season full of lip sync assassins, but also Michelle Visage herself considers it the best lip sync of all time ever on Drag Race. It was her versus Marsha. And that's the one I showed you, Tyler, where Marsha gets on her, like, does like the bridge and is walking like this. And Anitra just decides, I'm just going to flip over her. And we're like, what? Like, it's absolutely incredible. So I had to give that to Anitra. She stole everybody's heart. She was an incredible performer.
That's cool.
And she got second place in the season. So,
Allison, what about you?
I'm working on my third one. Hold on a second. Oh God, hold on. What is it? And I can't remember. It's not. Mine are more like. Okay, I'll just go with what I've got here.
Yeah.
Should be fine. It's mine are not going to be the typical reality shows. Okay, I'm digging a little deeper. Okay, Mike Barnett from The Curious Case of Natalia Grace, the father. I'm telling you, I need to meet this man. He, like, wow. Like, it never gets old. It never gets old. It never gets old. That's what we got. Nice. Did I tell y'all that Gypsy Blanchard's been released from prison?
Yeah. I saw that.
I gotta look into that. But that's not my second one. Because I'm all about that case too. James Marsden from Jury Duty. I don't know if anybody watched Jury Duty.
I didn't watch this show, but I heard about it.
It was about this as an Amazon series on Freevee. I guess that's the great value version of Amazon. I don't know, the Equate. But anyway, it's called Jury Duty, and it's about this guy that is on jury duty in LA with all these actors. It's not a real case. None of it's real. And he's the only one that doesn't know anything about it. And they pick the jury foreman and everything. And James Marsden is picked for jury duty as an alternate. Like, he's not actually part of the jury. He's an alternate. So he has to sit in for everything. He plays it up so well. If you don't know who James Marsden is, he's the original Cyclops from the original X-Men movies. He's Prince Charming from one of those movies. I can't remember which one it is. He's a really good actor. But he played on himself, full of himself, and he just was always talking about how he was on the phone with anyway, he's just real funny. He played an asshole method actor. He was great. It was really he always had his 2 cents to put in. It's like, nobody cares you're an alternate. So that one, and
Hi, Tim.
I don't know if anybody still watches Catfish.
No, I think it's just you.
Yeah, it's just me.
Worldwide.
Neve Schulman has gone from caring and being
not giving a shit,
concerned to just literally calling people the fuck out now. Like, I was watching the latest episode before and he literally, earlier today, and he literally goes, "Can I just ask a question? What the hell is going on here?" Like, I'm so confused. Like, he doesn't even care. Like, he's just sitting there with Cammie, his host, and whoever else is there, just like, yeah, let's look this number up. Oh, shocker. It doesn't belong to the person. Or this.
Well,
and
when you've been doing it for that long, I could see.
It's like Pat Sajak on The Wheel of Fortune.
Yeah.
12 years.
I'm fairly certain Pat Sajak actually died about 30 years ago, but this is his hell, and we all have to live through it too.
Side note, fun fact.
I like that conspiracy theory.
Pat Sajak used to did a little stand-up back in his day.
Now he does it on he just roasts the people now. It's so funny.
Yeah,
I'm sure that's really interesting. Okay, and that's the kind of shit he says, and I think it's so freaking funny.
It's like I'll be Pat Sajak, and I'm interviewing the two of you. Hello, I'm Allison, and welcome, Wheel of Fortune. And today we have Tyler, who is a photographer in New York City, and has a dog named Sora, and is tell us some more about your life, Tyler.
Yeah, so I love living in the city. Like, it's definitely a little different from how I was raised and stuff
Okay, that's
like
great.
that.
Beth, we've got Beth next. She's from where are you from?
Governor, New York.
Okay. And you work from home?
Yes, I do. Yeah.
And what else do you do? Tell us about you.
Yep, great.
That interesting, huh? Okay, that's what I thought.
Oh,
So
okay.
anyway,
I thought well, I didn't hear
I thought she said that too. Yeah, you're good.
like, he doesn't
but
give a
it's
shit.
literally like he will either cut them off, he'll be like, but he'll always do it in a way that sounds so patronizing or like condescending. Well, that's really great for you. All right, and next, it's so funny. It's so great. I'm sure that's interesting to you. Okay, great.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many people that have kind of crossed over this threshold into documentaries, and
which is also including Allison for reality show cover.
Listen, I need to just cover document. I think I might say to my sister-in-law, like, we got to do this Natalie Gray show. I got to get someone for this. I wish it was Rory.
I don't think you need anybody. I think you could go off. It'll be funny.
Listen, people like, here's the thing. Sylvester Stallone, and I'm going somewhere with this. Sylvester Stallone, Arnold Schwarzenegger, back in the 80s, 90s, they were rivals. Okay, they were rivals. Whatever Stallone did, Arnold Schwarzenegger had to do vice versa. So Arnold Schwarzenegger has a documentary, a limited series, 4-part on Netflix about himself, because that's his favorite thing to talk about is himself. Arnold Schwarzenegger loves to talk about himself and talk about how depression is just someone being lazy. Who doesn't want to hear that from Arnold Schwarzenegger?
He is a Leo.
Yeah. So this guy's an asshole, but I love it. I'm here for it. I'm like, you know nothing. I'm highly offended about 98% of what you're talking about, but I'm here for it. And then Sylvester Stallone turns around and has not only does he's got to up it, not only does he have a documentary limited series on Netflix, he's got a show with his wife and his daughters called The Family Stallone. And I'm here for it. He's a good father.
There we go.
God
See,
forbid
that's your
Arnold, you're depressed.
All right, so we got to do rapid fire for these next ones because we have a few more.
Sorry.
We got to get this up. So, number 3, who's your favorite winner of a reality show for this year? The best winner of a reality show this year? For me, I'm actually gonna go D on this. From Survivor 45, I think she has one of the best outings. I was very tempted to put Liz down for Australian Survivor, but I think Dee had more actual control of the game than Liz did. I think Liz was able to harness control at the end of the game, but really relied on Shawnee and George for a lot in the very beginning.
I had the same exact thing written down. Like literally, perfect. Like I said D or Liz, but probably Liz. Or probably D, I mean.
What about you, Allison?
What about you? I'm going to guess Allison's going to say Jam Jam.
Yeah, my only one's Jam Jam. Because I had a problem with everyone that won anything this year. Shocker. Besides Suri and the Traders. She killed it. But yeah, Jam Jam was my favorite. I just live for it. I think he's great. I just love it. I loved his story. Yeah. I love the way he did the game.
Is your winner pick?
Yeah, he was.
Conversely, who's your least favorite winner for this season, for this year? And why is it Jag?
It's Jag.
Jag.
But even though he joined the Mafia with Matt and I,
I don't give a shit. I just don't care. I really, nothing personal against the guy. He got voted out 0 to 16 or however, how many people. I don't even know. This was a 27-week day.
Like 11.
Yeah. We were doing this for a year. And it
was a long time.
It was a long time. The writer's strike really fucked us with Big Brother this year. Now, granted, the casting was a lot better, and I'm very impressed with that. But I felt that can we stop it with playing musical chairs and rigging shit so the people that we really want to win can come back in the house? Like reindeer games. Hello. Nicole Franzel won? Are you kidding?
I'm so excited to be the first two-time Big Brother winner, and I won't let anybody take that away from me.
I don't have anything against her. I'm not going to sit here and shit on her or anything, but I just know there's more to Nicole than what she shows. And here's the thing. No, absolutely not. I don't, look, she went against Josh Martinez, but
I think it's important to note here that I was able to win against at least 2 Big Brother winners, and I think therefore that makes me better.
Just hate her.
So just saying.
I shouldn't say that. I'm not trying to hate people.
Allison, this is all you. This next question. Favorite scripted TV show in 2023?
Oh God, where?
I
I actually didn't watch a lot.
Huh?
I'm gonna say Beef. That was my favorite scripted show of 2023.
Beef.
God,
That was a wild ride.
Mine was Bridgerton.
Bridget, I've never seen that either.
Season 2.
Yellow Jacket. I love Yellow Jackets.
Yeah.
Okay. I know everybody's like, oh, I'm gonna see a bunch of teenage girls go cannibal in a Canadian forest. It's more than that. It just has such a good flashback. It's my time period. These women are my age. I lived this time, so I get a lot of it. And I'm not I don't want to spoil anything for anybody, but I just think Yellow Jackets was really good this year.
Yeah.
Season 2 is good. I can't wait for season 3. So
when does season 3 come out?
Because of the writer's strike, it's going to be 2025. Listen, I can't even remember. I had this whole bitch conversation.
I'm sorry I asked.
I had a bitch
I was
fest
recording
with
Allison going,
my son and I were bitching in the car the other day when I took him to run an errand, and we were bitching about Stranger Things. And it's like, with Stranger Things, you can't just go back and watch the last season to catch up. You have to watch every fucking season to know what's going on for the next season.
I've rewatched Stranger Things like 4 times this year. Like, I have an issue. Like, I love that show.
You
so
love
much.
yourself.
I know. I'm working on it.
All right, number 5.
Okay. Yeah.
Which show is on the rise and which show is falling?
Okay, so The Traitors is on the rise.
That's what I said.
And BB Can is on the decline.
Ooh, good one. I did say Traitors was on the rise. I haven't watched it, but just in terms of like who they're doing for the second season and like all sorts of stuff, and also the hype. There is a real hype around the show. So I think that's on the rise. And also the fact that there's a UK and Australian, there's a Canadian one. Like they came up with like 4 different big English speaking countries in 1 year. That's definitely on the rise. And I think I just said Big Brother in general. I felt like Big Brother 25 had all of the potential to be the greatest season in the modern era, and production just fumbled the ball again. So if they keep that up, from what I understand, I did not watch Reindeer Games, but I do think that from what I understand from a competition standpoint, from like allowing the show to be a little silly and those kind of things, like it was actually good. Shocker when you let the people play.
Allison, what do you think? Which show's on the rise and which one's on the decline?
Okay, mine's a double-edged sword. It's the same show.
What is it?
The Challenge.
Ooh.
I feel like the Challenge can be at an all-time peak and then just totally freaking suck. Like they work it up and they have so like, this season's going to be good. And it's sometimes, to me, a season of the Challenge is either good or really, really bad. And this year with the rise of the champion or whatever, I didn't watch the full episode. You know what I did?
Bad.
I fast forward to the very end to see who is fighting and what happens. That's all I'm doing. I'm not watching the whole episode. Like, I'm not invested. I feel like at one time the Challenge really had something going. It was an authentic show. You have to remember, I watched this show when it was Real World Challenge. Don't ask me how fucking long ago that was. But it just was authentic, and people were you're getting into media whores and all kinds of things now, and it just
and All Stars 4, which is like all the good people that we love, right? That shit was filmed over a year ago and they still have not aired it. Like, they are just saving it in the can for something, and it is like whoever is behind like the production of the Challenge is just totally driving it into the ground, and it's such a bummer to me. That's such a good answer, Allison.
I liked the All Stars Challenge when it very first came out, and then they moved it over to CBS, and it just spun out. And
Yeah.
I can't, like, but I will say, I do enjoy the challenge more on CBS after Survivor or Big Brother or whatever than I do watching it on MTV. I'm done with these young 25-year-olds. Like,
Yeah.
I don't give a f anymore. I want to see the older, seasoned people who are playing to the death and really want to win. These people from Survivor and all over. That's
Yeah.
what I want to see. That's
Yeah.
what I enjoy. So that's what I'm saying. A show can also be on the right, can also be bottoming out at the same time.
Totally. I think that's a great answer. So number 6, what is the best and worst twist of the season? I said for the best one was the Australian Survivor vote to send somebody to the other tribe rather than vote them out. Because what it did in that season is they did it at the perfect point of the game to, rather than doing a full-on tribe swap, they played with the dynamic to see if that person can survive or not. And what it ultimately did was set up incredibly interesting social strategy for the rest of the game. Jerry was able to create bonds that really messed up the social dynamics of the heroes tribe. And they kind of got what they deserved for the way that they were treating people like Jerry in the beginning of the game, which often we don't get to see the underdog become the person in power and also then have the audience kind of root against him. It's a really interesting dynamic for the show. And it also showed King George at his best, and other players like Haley at her best and everything too. I think it was just like a really great twist. And my worst twist, I think it goes without saying, was Zombie Week for sure in BB25.
Yeah, I agree that the worst twist was BB25 Zombie Week. Like I said all season long, like we look back to that week as when like all of the pacing just went out the window and like nobody gave a shit after that week, and the season could not recover entertainment value or like anything after that. So I agree with that. I think the best twist was so reindeer games, Beth, like every round was like a different like style competition, whatever. And I really loved the safety chain round. So like the winner of like the first comp, like they got to choose the first person to go into a competition with like 5 minutes on the clock. If they complete it, they pick the next person to go in with like 4 minutes on the clock to complete it. So like anybody could be eliminated, but it was a lot of like, you know, do I send this person in now to give them more time, or like hope that the elimination will happen before this person gets picked. There was a lot of like strategy that went into it. And I really loved it. So
that's cool.
More of that, please. Reindeer Games was so good. What about you, Allison? Best and worst twist?
Well, I don't really have a best twist.
Sure.
I only have a worst twist, and mine is from Big Brother 25, Matt winning that secret power and Jag getting to stay in the house. To me, that's when the bottom fell out. I just really, I just didn't like it. I think production loved Jag. He was their pick from a standpoint, and they were willing to do anything and everything that they could to keep him in the game, and that's it.
Yeah, production clearly likes people who win their competitions, and then therefore gives them more. What was your favorite reality TV moment this year?
I want to hear you first, Beth.
Mine, I was a toss-up between literally all of the Anitra lip syncs, because those are the things I've watched over and over and over. So I have to almost go with that. Because even though I haven't rewatched this, I still do think the other one that was in top contention was the famous King George Tribal Council in that episode 7. I mean, everything about that was just fantastic to watch, and the setup to it was incredible. And then just to see him just play these people like a fiddle and have it work out so perfectly was really impressive.
That was mine as well, but I will give an honorary shout out to New York calling Omarosa a cum guzzling Republican on the House of Villains before she was eliminated. So
who was eliminated, Omarosa or New York?
New York. She said that on her way out the door.
That is
Allison, what was your best favorite reality TV moment of 2023?
I don't really have one. I know a lot of people hate Cameron from Big Brother 25, but I think when he was HOH and he really dropped the
He had a
hammer,
great HOH.
really started playing the game. I mean, it wasn't the best, but it really breathed a little bit because people are, look, I don't pretend to know what it's like because somebody who played Big Brother posted today that these so-called reality show podcasters like to talk about how we know how to play the game and we've never done it before. Well, anyway, here's my 2 cents on that. I mean, you don't know what you're going to do till you get in the house anyway. I've said it from day one. But it's like,
who are we? We're not pretending to be the
I don't give a fuck.
Nails.
You put yourself out there and we're gonna analyze you, but we do it in a good way. We're not assholes. But here's the thing. People are afraid to step up. People are afraid to rattle the cages in Big Brother. And it always takes that one person to kind of step up and really do it. And this season, I felt like it took up to Cameron's HOH for that to really happen, as where like the previous season, you had Frenchie who went for the jugular and he was out that week as the first HOH. I mean, people who do it right away are always out. And then the people, you've got to drag it out. Sometimes that's good. It kind of worked this year. But, it's just, if you're going to have the balls to step up and make these kind of moves, I feel like back it up with further actions. Don't go up and kiss the ass of the person that you tried to get out of the house the next week because they're HOH. Go up there, be real with them. Look, I put you up. You got to come back. I'd put you up again. I expect you to put me up. I will fight and claw my way, but don't do, stop it with the backdooring shit. It's got to stop.
I agree. Like his HOH was very bold, and I wish more people played that way with their power. The doorbell's ringing.
I was just gonna say I heard the doorbell ring. So let's move on to the next one. Who's your favorite best overall cast for the year?
I really, if you don't mind, I'll go first.
Yeah, please do.
I won't go too long. This Survivor 45, I really loved this season. And I know I was bitching because it was 90 minutes and we all know Allison's bedtime. But I figured out my trick. If I stay out of the My Weekly Meltdown chat and go and start watching it 30 minutes later, it's only an hour for me.
There you go.
So that's my trick. But anyway, I thought the entire cast was great. I didn't dislike anybody really at all, which is rare because there's always somebody I got to bitch about down to their eyebrows, and I didn't have anybody.
It's true. That's true.
I totally agree. That was my answer as well. Survivor 45's cast was just
immaculate,
stellar. Yeah.
I was so tempted to put that because I've actually had the ability to meet some of them and have had a really great conversation with them. They're just awesome people in addition to being really entertaining and strategic. But I actually went for season 15 of Drag Race. In the past few years, we've had just the modern era of Drag Race has been a little infuriating because it's been so clear who the winner is going to be every single year for so long. Terrible. And you have a really clear idea from episode 1 who the top queens are going to be in the top half of the season. And that's, first of all, not fair because all of them are really talented. You wouldn't be if you didn't get on the show, but they're just, some of them just need a little bit more time or need to be told ahead of time. This is what we're looking for. You need to be able to bring that in your own way. And some people know how to play Drag Race and other people don't. And that's fine. Yeah. It's a platform for them to grow. But the season 15 of Drag Race, they had 16 queens. It was the largest cast they ever had. I would say there was about 4 or 5 that were meh or forgettable. From the beginning, we got personalities we didn't expect. The first boot of the season was incredible television, and that never happens. It was kind of I'm really kind of think that the first boot, which was Irene Dubois, if she ever comes back, I actually think she has what it takes to be the first person who got booted out. She could come back next season and just win. I really think so. And I feel like that's a really good indication of like what this cast is.
How strong the cast is,
Yeah, and how entertaining they were. So I went
sure.
with season 15 of Drag Race. It was also, even though Sasha Colby and everybody assumed Sasha Colby was going to win, it was not guaranteed, and any of that final 4 could have won, and it would have been incredible. And that's also rare.
Let me ask you a question. I've seen a lot of advertisements for the new season of Drag Race that is starting next month. And I noticed something they said is new. I don't know. I may be wrong.
Sure.
Are they voting each other out this year?
I don't know. So voting out has always been an all-stars thing and not a regular season thing. I have been avoiding as much about the season as possible because when I cover it, I don't want to know, like, especially for RHAP, I don't want to know anything. I want to be able to give my pure thoughts on everything. So I don't know. I don't know if they're voting. I don't know if they're doing kind of like a queen vote. I don't know if they're doing like a point system like they did for Drag Race All Winners, which I have to tell you, I know that was last year, but man, we fucking ate in 2022 with Drag Race All Star 7. It's literally, I have to amend my statements. It is the best season of Drag Race ever.
Maybe that's the next one we watch then.
I know. Okay, so number 9, what is the most overrated moment, person, or show of 2023, and why is it Cameron from 2020?
No, I'll tell you, it's Tori from The Challenge. She is the most overrated, opportunist. See you next Tuesday. I've ever had the disgrace of being on my TV screen. She came out with a poetry book this year. Like this gal really thinks she is something that she's not, and she is the face and like the image of everything wrong with the challenge, like jam-packed into one just obnoxious, fake-ass, phony person. So Tori Deal, you are the most overrated thing in reality TV.
Please somebody clip this and then put it on Twitter and at her.
Please do. Yeah, please do. Also, like, sorry to the people that are going to come at me for this, but I think Carson is a pretty overrated Survivor player. I don't think he did anything spectacular in the game, but
Marilyn played way better than he did.
He's a cute little white twink, so like everybody loves him. Like he wasn't anything like special to me, but he got a lot of love online. So,
What about you, Allison?
I don't know. Who's somebody who's overrated?
Yeah, or like what was a moment or a show in general that you thought was overrated?
Bowie Jane. I just like really from Big Brother to like I just don't like. She's so freaking cool.
Bowie Jane.
I mean, it's just like even
I'm just laughing at the fact that you think she's overrated.
Like people are like, Bowie Jane's the best player.
No, well, I mean, okay, she just gets on my nerves, and I don't have anybody else. So I'm just pulling someone out of my butt.
It's just funny. I know what you were meant. I know that you didn't mean that she was overrated.
I mean,
but
Julie
it's just
Chen
funny.
Moonves is overrated as the host of Big Brother. Like that
Ain't fucking men.
We get rid of her. She got to go. The show will survive. She is not Big Brother. And if I hear one more Big Brother player, she is Big Brother. Fuck off. No, she's not. There's so many other people that could do it.
I agree. All right. Last but not least, which show are you most pumped for in 2024?
Wait, Beth, I don't think you answered.
I said Cameron. I said, and why is it Cameron
right.
from
Okay,
BB25?
gotcha.
I think, I mean, generally winning America's favorite player because they had an incredibly nice edit for what a creepy misogynist he is. Not to mention how many people from his personal life came out and said, he's a shit father and he's actually like manipulative and abusive and a narcissist and awful. But yet we just like licked this guy's asshole the entire time. It was ridiculous. So yeah, he's completely overrated to me. Okay. Which show are you most pumped for in 2024?
The Mole season 2.
Ooh.
I'm telling y'all, The Mole season 1 on Netflix.
I was expecting you to say Traitors. I don't know why.
No, I'm looking forward to The Mole so much better. They casted The Mole season 1 like perfectly. And it's Robin Cass, the person who used to cast Big Brother US. And that season was just so phenomenal. Like I cannot wait to sink my teeth into The Mole season 2. And I'm like dying for them to give us like a release date or like just like tell us that we know it's coming next year at some point. They've already filmed it, but I am so ready for The Mole season 2. I cannot wait.
What about you, Allison? I know that we've heard some like scripted TV and such that we're looking forward to, because if there's anybody that knows scripted TV better, show me who that person is. Because Allison Kelly, she's got it all in lock.
I am just gonna say the reality show I'm looking forward to is dropping January 1st. It's the Curious Case of Natalia Grace. Natalia Speaks. I'm excited about that. I'm excited about the new traders. I'm a little disappointed it's all reality stars, but I like the cast, so that's my, a close second. Scripted TV wise, Law and Order SVU, man.
There you go.
Do you know?
Do you have a scripted? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
That is my scripted.
No. I was going to ask Tyler.
Oh.
Do you have a scripted show that you're looking forward to, Tyler?
Whew. Man, if Stranger Things season 5 comes out in 2024,
it will.
Then definitely
is it?
that.
Mm-hmm.
They're filming. They start filming like as soon as January hits. Like everybody's like headed to Georgia now to start filming.
I feel like they said that they're aiming to try to get it out for the summer.
God, I hope so. But that's a very quick turnaround.
It's gonna be split into 2, right?
Yeah, they're gonna
Probably.
do like 1 month in like June and the other one in July.
I think
or
it's split
May
in
and
3
June.
for all I care. Like I want the last season to be like as phenomenal as season 4 was. Like it was that show is so good, and the world they've built is so like detailed and thorough. Like the more you like look into like the lore of Stranger Things, like everything, even since season 1, like everything has like did you know that there was like clock sounds like when Will went missing in the first season? Like
No.
that's how much they've like thought about like Vecna and the Mind Flayer like before like any of that stuff was like revealed to us like years before. So if Stranger Things comes out next year, then definitely that.
Yeah, I want 11 to die. I need her to die. I'm kind of over that character. I liked it at first, but now I'm over it. Like I can't take it anymore.
I can see her dying in the last season.
Yeah.
What about you, Beth?
For me, my favorite reality show that I'm looking forward to is going to be Drag Race Global All Stars. I cannot wait. They are putting together some of the best queens from all various different franchises from across. And let's not pretend
who from US is coming or is.
I mean, there's rumored cast at this point. I think Alyssa Edwards is supposed to be one of the queens, and so I'm like very.
I love me some Alyssa Edwards.
I love Alyssa Edwards, and so I think she is. And I'm going to be quite honest with you, I can't remember who the other people are, but I think it's her. But they've got queens from Canada and UK. I think not Philippines, Thailand. I think they've got Holland and maybe France and like just all these things. Y'all have to remember that at this point, Drag Race has, name a country, it likely has a franchise there. Philippines, Thailand,
so
Brazil, Spain, Italy, Mexico, like all of these places have a Drag Race now. And it's just so much. We're also being fed with season 16 at the beginning of the new year, like we normally get. We'll get All Stars 9 right after that. We're going to have this global All Stars, and we're going to have UK versus the world too. Like we have so many All Stars happening that it's just going to be incredible.
That's great.
And UK versus the world is very similar to global All Stars, which I think is just interesting. UK versus the world is all the franchises plus Canada that RuPaul himself judges. And they do it in the UK and they invite people over. And then they did it in Canada this past year and they invite people over. So it's just very interesting. My favorite script. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah. No, I didn't mean to interrupt. Go ahead.
And then my favorite scripted show that I cannot wait for is going to be House of the Dragon season 2. I'm so stoked. I love this world. I'm halfway through reading the book again, and just, I'm in the middle of the Dance with Dragons, which is the whole event that this whole show is named after, and what it's just, we're about to see war with dragons, people. It's going down, and there's going to be really horrible things that happen, and I can't wait to see how they do it. I'm so stoked. It's so good. Yeah,
cool.
That's it. But that's a wrap up on the questions I had.
I was just going to say that it would be cool if they did an American Survivor all stars with like all of the people from like Australia, all
Like
of
a
them
global
combined, and
Survivor
American,
All-Stars.
yeah, with all people from all the other countries, and with Americans, I would like to see that. I'd
Yeah,
really,
that would
Apparently,
be so cool.
Survivor UK is good. So
Yeah, I've heard that.
I think it'd be cool. You could get someone from South Africa, from New
yeah.
Zealand, Australia, UK, US.
Yeah,
Are there other big franchises that I'm forgetting?
I don't. I don't think so. I think that's it. But like even just that, like you could
Dude,
get
could
a
you imagine
stellar
Russell
cast.
Hance versus King George?
I'd like to
Oh
see
my
that.
god.
I'd like to see that bitch fight.
That is one instance where I would be okay with Russell Hance coming back. Like,
That is
let's
the
set that up.
only instance I would care for
Right.
him to come back.
Right.
What if him and Sandra Twine and King George are just in a circle jerk fighting? It is just an argument.
Well, King George did play with Sandra's daughter, Nina, so they would have that connection at least.
Oh, okay.
Nina was great, by the way. Like,
Nina was
she was a
awesome.
great character.
Very cool.
But yeah, so I think that puts a bow on 2023 for us. Any closing thoughts before we sign out of here for the year? Besides, thank you to our patrons. Like, we love you guys so much. Like, thank you for all your support. Like, without your support, like, New Orleans wouldn't have happened. And getting to meet Kylan, one of our patrons, in person was like such an awesome thing.
Awesome.
But it's a small family here in My Weekly Meltdown, but it is a family. Like, we love and know like each one of you guys, and like we love. It makes our day seeing you guys like in the chat, like even like Rory and like Valencia, like we haven't seen you guys in a bit, and it's like so exciting to like see you guys back and stuff like that. So yeah, just sending like love to like all of our listeners and support that we've had this year. It's been awesome.
Y'all have big plans for New Year's Eve?
No,
just like low key with mom.
Be by myself probably.
What about
Might
you,
not
Allison?
be. My brother and my sister-in-law were supposed to fly out to Luxembourg today, but my sister-in-law hasn't felt well, so they rescheduled. So I might get together with them now.
I'm just gonna be home. I don't know. I don't really have it. I am taking Finley to the vet Friday morning, 10 o'clock, for his physical and follow-up and grooming. And this will be the first time that I take
Doing
him.
that the same day, like grooming and
they do it all. This cat, I can't bring him to the vet after the last trip without a sedative. They gave me free feline sedatives. I have to put in his food 2 hours before the appointment. And then I would take his 25-pound limp body and put it in the freaking carrier. And I can't leave. Usually you can drop off and pick up when it's done. They're like, no, we need you to stay in case he wakes up because he won't go crazy on me. But I can hold him and do stuff. But last time, well, anyway, I'm not going to get details, but pray for me.
I will send thoughts and prayers. Yeah.
And JoJo's fine. JoJo had a great Christmas.
Oh.
So did Cloud.
All right. Well, I think that wraps it up for us. We'll see you guys in the new year. We'll be back for the Traders season 2. That will be the next thing that we cover. We should probably do like a cast analysis or something for that. But TBD always depends on our schedule the week of. So we'll see you when we see you. We love you guys and take care. Happy New Year. Bye.
Happy New Year.